Help is on the way. 295,000 gallons of water per second is currently headed towards Lake Mead right now. Could this be the lifeline the reservoir has been waiting for? Let's find out. The USBR has started a special high-flow release experiment this week and is warning both river users and Grand Canyon visitors to exercise caution around its banks. Usually this type of release is performed in the fall, when natural flows are low. Thanks to a combination of factors this year, including a very healthy winter in the southwest and high sediment deposits in the Marble Canyon area, this favorable hydrology presents the opportunity for a less common spring release. The operation will be ongoing during the last week of April. As the massive water released from Lake Powell makes its way downstream each day, it will not only benefit Lake Mead, but also the Grand Canyon along the way, which is the main objective laid out by the USBR. You river watchers who have been around the channel already know the issues that the Glen Canyon Dam brought to the Grand Canyon. For those that don't, I'll leave a link here and in the description to our second Behind the Drought video, where you can see how the process of siltation has negatively affected the sandbars and biology downstream in the Grand Canyon. This is important because siltation is precisely what this high flow release from Lake Powell seeks to address. This high-volume daily release of water will mimic the natural spring floods that used to rip down the untamed canyon. This in turn will help move and displace sediment that would normally remain stationary, especially during the lower flow years of the last several decades. The sediment-rich water will help shore up and replenish the traditional sandbars and beaches throughout the Grand Canyon. After several years of the dam upstream in effect filtering the Grand Canyon water, the natural sandbars were disappearing and the biology in the area was changing. The beginning of this new Grand Canyon restoration looks to reverse that. Here you can see some comparisons of sandbars within the canyon over the years as an example. It is amazing how just a slight difference in water temperature or turbidity can have such a profound ripple effect throughout the ecosystem. This experiment is an initial test to find out how the USBR may or may not incorporate this method into future Grand Canyon restoration projects. Though the main objective is to get sediment in the Grand Canyon moving, that certainly doesn't mean Lake Mead downstream is going to benefit. In fact, from estimates put out by the USBR, this high-flow release experiment is expected to raise Lake Mead's elevation by 1 foot in 1 week. Now, a foot might not seem like much, but for those who are familiar with the size of this reservoir, you know how much water it takes to fill this canyon 1 foot. It's pretty cool to think that all that water is going to come down in just a few days. So what happens after the experiment? Well, we are still watching and anticipating the snow melts upstream, which will continue into the season much later than usual. Thanks to this, the USBR has stated more high-flow releases like this one could be planned for later in the year. I know many of you are waiting to see how much water is actually going to end up in these reservoirs, and we will be finding that out soon. But for now, I can tell you that at the time of this release, the USBR has done a complete 180 on their own predictions from the last reports. Previously, the Bureau estimated we would lose around another 20 feet of elevation throughout this year. According to their new 24-month study, Lake Mead is estimated to rise approximately 20 feet by September now. And wait until you find out how much water they estimate to be incoming upstream from there. We'll cover all that soon in the next update, so stay tuned. More help and water is on the way.